Good afternoon. My name is Renee Liu, and I'm going to be presenting the Fight Against Ethylene, an informational session about the compound 1-MCP. Today I'm going to go over what ethylene really is, then cover in depth what MCP is, and then show practical ways of using it. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, ethylene is a hormone released by plants as they approach maturity. Ethylene can cause a number of negative impacts on fruits, vegetables, and flowers, such as premature wilting, yellowing, disease, deformity, and water loss. All of the above can lead to a lowered produce prices at the consumer level, or even a complete loss of harvest. In the midst of the struggle in the post-harvest engineering community to abate the negative effects that ethylene have on produce, 1-MCP was discovered. Here on the screen you can see the different effects that ethylene has on produce and on flowers. You can see that ethylene is what affects the ripening of bananas as it goes from green to brown. It also has an effect on flowers as they wilt. Also, you can see the compound structure of ethylene in the lower right-hand corner. So, in 1990, Dr. Sylvia Blankenship and Dr. Edward Seisler of North Carolina State University were conducting research on potential control compounds for ethylene. The compound diazocyclopentadiene, also called DACP, was already known for being able to block ethylene effects. However, it is also extremely flammable and explosive during manufacturing, making it a hazard for anyone in close contact with it, farmers included. And it requires sunlight to become a gas before it can interact with produce. Both of these factors make DACP an unfavorable compound to become a commercial product as an ethylene blocker. One day, Dr. Blankenship went out on a limb and decided to test if DACP would still block ethylene even after being exposed to sunlight for a long time. She put a container of DACP on the windowsill for an entire day and then left it in a room with a green tomato. After 2 weeks, the tomato was still as green as the day it was picked, and voila, 1-methylcyclopropene, or 1-MCP, was discovered. It took much testing after that to figure out what actual compound was left over in the beaker after being exposed to sunlight. However, it was soon found to be 1-methylcyclopropene. So how does it work? 1-MCP acts like a bad key on ethylene locks on the surface of produce. Normally, ethylene would fit as a key into those locks and turn them so that the produce would ripen. 1-MCP, on the other hand, fits the lock but gets stuck and won't turn. It also blocks the lock off from other ethylene keys from coming in and turning the lock. This way, 1-MCP prevents ethylene from having any effect on produce. This effect lasts as long as the produce is still around. Even after being exposed to ethylene after many weeks, ethylene would still have zero effect on a green tomato. Dr. Blankenship decided to then pursue making 1-MCP a product that could be easily distributed to farmers and producers alike. 1-MCP is safe, easy to use, and once it is packaged, it could be portable. So now, almost 20 years later, after the initial production of 1-MCP, it can now be bought in the forms of SmartFresh, AgroFresh, and EthylBlock as a white powder. Once obtaining a container of 1-MCP, how can we use it on our crops? A simple way to do this is to first buy a large shipping container, which you can obtain from getting a shipment from China or Japan, and block up any potential holes that air could escape from. This could be with any type of plastic tubing, or it could be corks, it could even be duct tape, just as long as the container is airtight. Then place crops into the container along with an open container of 1-MCP mixed with water. After 24 hours of containment, crops can be exposed to normal air conditionings or stored in controlled atmosphere rooms, and the 1-MCP will still have the same effect on the produce. The time after harvest that 1-MCP exposure needs to occur for the freshest results depends on the crop. The best results depend on the proper concentration of 1-MCP and the length of exposure. Currently, there are no known negative side effects of the use of 1-MCP, as it is not a pollutant and it is safe for humans to breathe. 1-MCP does have many positive side effects on produce, however, including maintained firmness, flavor, and texture, as well as keeping produce free from deformity. Overall, 1-MCP is safe and easy to use, and I hope this presentation has encouraged you to try it out. Thank you all for your time, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me.